Hello and welcome, as it is the first day of December 2017. My name is Derek and welcome. And people like top 10 videos, top 20, top 50, top 100. So let's do a top 15 portfolio holding video. Go over the 15 largest cryptocurrencies and which that I'm holding. And of course, everything you do is your own risk and your own reward. But I'm basically just telling you what I own and my take on each one. So let's get started with number 15. And that's all coins that are not in the top 14. That's everything else, basically. And everything else is 18.6% of my bankroll combined. There are around 55 of these coins that are not in this list. So overall, there's about actually close to 70. So 70 minus 15, yeah, 55. And the top of the best ones that are right in the 16, 20-ish, 22 area: Wings, Fun, BCH, ZEIT, Pillar, Lunar, Smart, and Ethereum Classic. And you know what? You can make a case that this one should be a little bit higher, but it's at least in the list. So then, let's move on to number 14. That's Bitcoin Gold, 0.57% of the bankroll. And those coins were given to me for free. I only have 1/4 of the coins that were given to me. I am very greedy at the price levels. I am looking to enter, and like most codes, I'm using the basic buy low, sell high strategy with this code. So if the price goes much lower, I'll be buying. But that is number 14. Number 13, EOS, 0.62% of the bankroll. There won't be any charts in this video. I'm just going to go over each one. I have heard good things about this, and this is part of the WebBot selections. Not much more to say other than this is just another code worth playing a little bit heavier. There's a big gap difference in the top 8 for myself. So everything up to number 9 is just like the best of what's not outside of the top ones, or the main 8 staples right now for me. Number 12, and that's PotCoin, 0.63% of the bankroll. Like all the hemp coins, I love this baby to try and pick away at any pumps that come into play. And there's going to be a little bit of I'm only going to use the SHIT for shit coins, and this is the best one, I think. And trading this on the buy low, sell high strategy. Let's move on to number 11, which is NEO, 0.9% of my bankroll. This is a Chinese Ether. It's a very volatile code with huge risk and huge rewards, which is why I only want to have a small portion of this to justify the risk. But I want to have enough to also justify the reward as well. Let's move on to number 10, and that's Litecoin. And it's almost 1% of my bankroll. And this is ranked number 2 on the shit coins we're trading. There'll be one more in this strategy. And it's also the first crypto that I not only bought, but played aggressive in relevance to my bankroll. I started in late February. And the first place in which I sent the Bitcoin to was to POLONIEX. And when they were there, the first buy that I made was turning Bitcoin into Bella. And then as the day went on, I realized this is something I need to go aggressive on, and I did. And today I own 40% more of this coin than about 8 months ago. And back then it was over 10% of my bankroll. Now there's several reasons for that. My bankroll is significantly higher, and the price of Bella is significantly lower. Let's move on to number 9. OK Cash. And this is ranked number 1 on shitcoins we're trading, as I have talked about the amazing volatile up and down swings this code has. And therefore this one happens to just sit at the top for the shitcoins. Although number 4, you can also argue to be one as well, but I'll talk about that a little bit later on. This also means that OK Cash is the number 1 ranked of all of the main ones. So let's move on to number 8, which is significantly higher than 1.05%. It's Dash and it's 2.42%. Big jumps in bankroll percent from 8 to 9, which indicates I have 8 main codes that I hold, and this is the weakest of the bunch. I'm only swing trading this in the strategy that I mentioned at this stage, but Dash gets special treatment because I'm very confident this is a good play. I wonder if my mistake is that I do not have enough. Should I have more than 2.42%? Well, it's a lot higher today. I just had a buy order get filled on one exchange, and I also bought some last night as well on another exchange. So before, it probably would have been about number 12 or something on the list. And these will change all the time because I buy some, that makes it go higher. I sell some, that makes it go lower. And then the price increases, that makes it go higher. The price decreases, it makes it go lower. Number 7. That's okay, wrong way. The United States dollar Tether. Okay, maybe this is a shit coin too as well because, well, the United States dollar mirrors and does a very good job on mirroring the United States dollar. And the United States dollar does a very good job, in my opinion, of mirroring that or pretending to be that of money. But this is merely a hedge and a measure to buy Bitcoins back at cheaper prices than I sell them for. This coin is only good for buying other coins with, and if Bitcoin just keeps rolling, that is good for my bankroll even though this code goes down in value. Because my high level of confidence in Bitcoin and alternate coins, blockchain technology, this is why it is only 1/40th of my bankroll. And I don't have a sell order again until $13,000 Bitcoin. I'm not selling again until then. So it's not going to be going anywhere higher anytime soon. And I do have a decent size sell orders, about 13,800, 13,900 ballpark area. Now, if this thing goes like higher, like Bitcoin, 20,000, 30,000, I'm not going to be planning on buying back at 5,000 and 6,000. And I'll just use those tethers to buy whatever later on. And they'll be losing bets within a much great gaining overall long-term bet within the portfolio. Let's move on to number 6. And that's Monero. Monero is 2.85% of my bankroll. This is my number 4 base currency. And it's a base currency, which means I'm buying and selling other things within Monero. But for now, I am only trading this cross against Dash, with possible plans to add Blackcoin, which I do not own, ZEC, which I have some, and NXT cross with Monero, but I'm not doing so as of now. I like this code Monero for gains, like I do all the others in the top 5 as well as Dash. As with all of these codes, with sells in heavier lots when they have great legs higher in their charts versus the dollar, Bitcoin, etc. So when you see at the points that it's just an amazing time to sell the coins, I'll do that with all of them. But I need to do so more so within these codes because when I own a lot of whatever, that means I am in great transition or position to be able to sell for significant gains. All the codes that are ranked like 10th, 20th, 30th, 40th on my list make it very hard to do so because I don't own too many of them. But these are the ones that I do got good holdings on, so I want to have a good strategy in place to ensure I get amazing sell orders filled when the price is well overextended against any of its majors. I will trade Monero against, well, definitely Bitcoin, against, well, Dash, against Litecoin, against Ethereum, and if need be, I will do it against the dollar. But right now, the only plan within the Tether that I have plan to sell against is that of Bitcoin. Let's move on to number 5. And that's Vertcoin. 3.33% of the bankroll. And I may be a little overexposed in this code. Maybe it should be like number 9, 10th ranked. And I'm using a little bit of the Spidey sense, instincts, etc. And I do not like doing that because I have a math-based monkey brain attached to my head. But the frustrating part of this code is I can only find this on the Bitcoin exchange and only on POLONIEX and on BITTREX as well. But we'll look to unload very heavy when new legs are moving across. And I say this only in the sense that I'm going to be very aggressive in buying back all the other top ones, Monero, Dash, and of course you should already know 3 of the top 4 by now, which are going to be, well, definitely Ethereum and Litecoin. But those ones I'm going to be buying back aggressively. This one, I'm not too sure how much I'm going to be buying back, but like all the other ones, I'm looking to make a big play on this and sell the vast majority of what I have when the prices are much, much higher. Number 4. And that's extra Bytes, XBY. That's 4.2.8% of my bankroll. Can't tell you what I know about this, but I obviously can tell you that I have a decent sized bet on this code, and I'm trading this with my basic strategy at a very high stake level, which has several sell orders compared to other codes that may only have 5, even 6, 7. I'm very frustrated how I won't. I wasn't able to get more spectacular gains from this code from April to July. And the mistake of not being greedy enough, waiting for larger corrections, as well as selling way too small at key levels that I knew were heavy sell zones. I'm very critical in my play and always look to improve such. My rookie crypto season ends in under 3 months from now. And mistakes were things like in the early stages when it was up to like key levels like the 250 mark, I'm like, oh my goodness, I should be selling really aggressively. And I wish I would have, because it went down to that level I thought it would, which I think was 109. And then I bought back at like 160, 170. And I mean, I bought back at 150, 120, whatever too. But I should have been more aggressive. And then I was talking big about this thing going to 1500. And I sold okay. But you know what? I should have sold 3, 4, 5 times more than I had at the time. And then when I was buying back too aggressively at 1000 and 800, when I realized there was a lot more gains. But I've done very, very well with this code. I'm just trying to do a lot better as I move on forward. Number 3. That would be Ethereum. And that's about 7.5% of my bankroll. This code is one of the big boys and number 2 on the market cap. I use Ether to trade around 10 codes crossed with such, making this my number 3 base currency. I expect big things to move forward from Ethereum because Bitcoin is exploding, making several new leg all-time highs versus the dollar wall. Many codes like this went sideways. This tells me that there could be better risk-reward upside potential with the altcoins in the intermediate term time frame. So that's why I want to be more aggressive towards such, and I've got a lot more altcoins, at least percentage-wise, than I really ever had. Again, Ethereum, I'm trading against 9, 10, 11, 12 different codes. I will probably add more towards that as time moves on further, while I'm probably going to be reducing the amount of codes I trade against Bitcoin. Let's move on to number 2. And that's Litecoin, which is about 17% of my bankroll. I am very aggressive with Litecoin. Let me just reduce the font of this here. Okay, I'm very aggressive with Litecoin and will even add more coins if the price drops or through trading. This is my number 2 base currency. I am trading about 24 codes against Litecoin and love doing so. The only exchange that I like that I can find the trades is Cryptopia. The entire reason I am buying alternates for Bitcoin is so that I can try to increase my amount and thus outperform the market and reach for higher gains, which has been very successful thus far. That was the original plan. I mean, in the real world, or the traditional way, your base currency is whichever fiat currency you have, and your goal to run it up or to profit is maybe you put $50,000 into E-Trade and you want to go to 80,000, 100,000, 200,000. That's the same with Bitcoin. You put 1 Bitcoin in, you want to trade it, turn to 1.5, 2, 2.5, and so on. So the same thing with Litecoin. I want to make my numbers go higher by buying and selling other coins. Okay. So this is why I am doing the same thing with Litecoin and Ethereum, but Litecoin more aggressively than Ethereum. And I've talked earlier about my strategy where I'll be looking to sell very aggressively with this code when it crosses north of 500 US dollars. I will always be looking to see if demand for this coin increases, and if such, I would expect sites like BITTREX, POLONIEX to add a Litecoin exchange and volume to be very good there. And that's a prediction. I'm not going to make it, but if I were to make predictions, that makes sense that that's going to happen in the next few months, that you will have on those sites an actual Litecoin exchange with several different codes, definitely all the big ones. And well, I mean, you don't need to add an Ethereum cross to it because you can already cross Ethereum as it is, or a Bitcoin cross, but like all the other coins, that the Vert coins and the EOSs and the pillars and like dozens of other ones. When I am doing the best in reading between the lines with WebBot in coordination and to technical analysis, the price target nearing or breaking 1,000 seems realistic and worth the risk reward and probability potential, the 3 P's. Well, I didn't mean to put them like that, but after typing that in, I'm like, well, that looked pretty cool. 58% of my Litecoins are in hard storage, and the other 42% are trying to make money on the other 3 exchanges. Now, of course, they're trying to make money on the hard storage, and they're probably going to be doing such as well. But I state make money by, of course, buying other things so that I can turn 5 Litecoins into 6 Litecoins, into 10 Litecoins, and so on and so forth. And when price action gets sick, I'll be taking Litecoins from the hard wallet to sell to the market. And as of now, this will only take like 2 to 3 minutes with the current block time, because I go to my hard wallet, take some Litecoin, transfer to the site that I'd want to sell. Probably not BITTREX, 0.25% trading fees. But trade to that site. It only takes about 2-3 minutes for the Litecoin to be appeared and confirmed, and then you sell it, and then you would be most likely, if you have any heavy lots of coins that you can put on the hard storage, you'd be putting those ones on there as well too. And then later on, of course, I'd be looking to buy the Litecoins back, and you do all these types of things, so on and so forth. And number one is pretty obvious. That's going to be Bitcoin. And that's about over 1/3 of my bankroll now, 36.5%. And this is the lowest my percent has been in a long time now. The highest it was ever was like 93%, like when I have 92% near the Bitcoin gold fork. And this tells me I'm starting to run low on my buying power, but still have some ammo to do several things. But one of the things I have done is stopped adding codes, because I really can't afford to add much more, and use this for any opportunities to present itself. I always want to have Bitcoin ready. Always, always, always have it ready. Half my Bitcoins are in cold storage and the other half are on exchanges. Now, the more I see other Litecoin exchanges being used, and the more aggressive I might go into other ones like Ethereum, will provide me myself more of a demand to have Bitcoins, and then I could very well, who knows, get to the point where I have 8% Bitcoin and like 30% Litecoin in the near future, depending on how market conditions are. I have never really ever been confident that I think Bitcoin is going to make it. And I say that in my early days, I was really dissing Bitcoin. And then when I started trading, and I'm like, well, I mean, this thing probably is going to crash like much later, but I can hit and run, as they state, buy, sell, profit take, find indicators to when it's going to be bad, and man, I'll profit a lot by then. And so far, so good. And as I've been trading and using cryptocurrencies, playing with the blockchains and such, I do see Bitcoin as a much inferior cryptocurrency. And I think when you look at Dash, Ethereum, Litecoin, and even so many of the other ones that are in place, And I think EOS long term is going to be very good for even that as well. But they're better. And because of such, it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't end well for Bitcoin. I do think the blockchain is going to survive. I think the cryptocurrencies, at least for a decent amount of time, at least until I think the resource-based economy culture comes in, which for years I felt would be around 2050, and I don't know if there's any reason for me to change that. So for a few decades, I think the cryptocurrencies are got a good chance of actually working in this world, which is why I really want to be very active in the cryptocurrency trading, and obviously I'm doing such. And then with the coins like Litecoin, all they're the ones I'd expect them to do very, very well. But in the near term, I think Bitcoin is going to keep going higher. It makes it very difficult to decide, ooh, but how well is it going to do versus Litecoin and Monero and Dash and Ethereum Classic and all the other ones. Because it does seem as if we might be reliving April and May, and even March, April, May, and June all over again for maybe into starting now into 2018 and so on, where you'll see Bitcoin going higher, but the alternate coins doing better. And if Bitcoin maybe makes moves to like 25,000, that's going up 2.5 times. I've already talked about Litecoin going to 1,000, and it's a little south of 100 now. That's like 10x, and even 500 as a conservative good high level, which is like about a 6x gain. You're gonna see, I think, a lot of these currencies on the alt side have like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9x gains against the dollar, when Bitcoin might only have like 1.5, 2, or 3x gains against the dollar, because it's a high market cap one that's already had tremendous gains over, well, since the May break of resistance. So then, I'm going to now end this video. Thank you for tuning in. Just going over basically what I'm doing. And I mean, I don't make, like, I advise, oh, don't do this. I might say this is going on, but you make your own decisions, and that's the only way it can be. This is the best part about Bitcoin in itself. I talk about the hard wallet that I have. I make my own decisions within the money that I have to transfer it where to and where as I please kind of deal. And that's, as humans, what it's all about. You are your own person. You are the one to make your own decisions. And the best informed you can be, then that's what it's all about. So I'm just glad to help anyone who's, and obviously by watching this, a lot of you are trying to become more informed and make the best decisions that you can. And if that's the case, congratulations and best of luck as we move on forward. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.